How good am I getting at my supervillain entrance? Would probably help if I lifted my chair up a little bit and you could actually see the cat. Okay, Mochi. I shall release you. We just had to... You have to be part of my supervillain entrance. It's what the people want. I don't know what else to say, you know? We simply know what the people want around here. Alright. Good morning, everybody. Welcome to yet another Dadvocate stream, but in 4K. Ooh. I don't even know. Honestly, guys, I don't even know if I like the higher quality. I kind of miss the potato cam days. What do you guys think? Is it even worth it? Why bother when the potato cam was getting everything done? It's getting better. The mic isn't muted. Almost, though. Almost. I was gearing up to do my dramatic Mochi entrance, and then I was like, that microphone is still red, and it is supposed to be green. Big whoopsie daisy. I was also probably like 1 minute late, but you know what? We made it. We're here now, and sometimes that's all that matters. But look, come on in, settle in, grab your water, grab your coffee, grab your tea, grab your trail mix, your chewing gum, whatever it is that you like to listen to during a Dadvocate stream. I'm Lauren, your host of yet another Dadvocate stream, and here on this show we kind of talk about things like relationships, dating, divorce, parenting, co-parenting, things of that nature. We go all over the place, and we try to make it not a super visually reliant show. So if you are at work or out walking the dog or just doing some chorin', feel free to not stare at your screen. I will do my best to visually describe to you everything that we might be looking at or talking about. And if I do need you to look, I'll let you know. Try to keep it chill around here. Before we get into today's theme of the stream, I like to give a little bit of a quick Dadvocate life updates. Hold on, let me see if this chair goes any higher. Nope, I might just need a pillow. I'm still learning with my new setup, okay? But, some life updates. First and foremost, I dropped a pretty significant expose yesterday. Who's seen it? Raise your hand, say I in the chat, or whatever it is you to agree that you saw it. let me see. 720p is the highest YouTube will let me go. Oh, okay. So I guess there's no point in me using the Canon anyway. But I don't know. The quality looked a little bit better during yesterday's stream from what I could see before I got copyrighted. Okay, it wasn't a copyright strike, but Tuesday's live stream, I had to take it down, at least before I can, edit it, because you remember how I was talking about, for those of you who were there, the whole coup de grace of this whole episode was about type A people, and are their expectations for cleaning a little bit too ridiculous? You know, because I definitely hear women out when they say men aren't doing their part to contribute around the house. From the sounds of it, it does sound that men seem to be admitting that too in a lot of relationships, but a lot of times these standards that us as women hold ourselves to, these impossible Pinterest and Instagram standards, are just they're just not realistic and they're just not necessary. And so the whole creme de la creme of my point in this was this girl's account where she shows this insanely hyper elaborate way of how to properly fold towels, where it's like a fold, and then she flips the whole thing over, and then she folds it again, and then she makes it so that the towel has a pocket, and then she takes a smaller towel, and then she shows you how to create this fan. It's peacocking out. Someone said in the comments, I wish I could remember who it was not even the Marriott does this. Anyway, that towel video, she apparently had copyrighted. And so my whole video, the entire live stream, 3 hours of my life, unmonetizable because MC Has Fun owns that towel method. White women on the internet are constantly doing too much, which brings me to my next point. Okay, I guess I didn't need to make it racial but since I'm white, I feel more comfortable making fun of my people. Anyway, to our next audacious white woman update of the day, please go watch the expose on The Other Woman and the Wife, Chelsea Smallwood, that I just put out. Longtime followers, you know I've covered this woman a good few times in the past. I've been a long time Chelsea Smallwood hater. So when I caught wind that she and her little cheating cohorts of their little cheating coaching business where they teach each other how to gaslight their spouses is being sued, we had to eat that up. We had to gobble it up. And so I worked really hard on this video, and in that video you will also find a GoFundMe for the betrayed spouse Kristen, the betrayed spouse Kristen, who Chelsea has been ruthlessly targeting in a degenerate and unhinged bullying campaign with her little affair partner Flying Monkeys. So for this stream, if instead of, super chats or donos, unless you really want to say something, if you guys could just redirect anything toward Kristen's legal fund, I really want to see Chelsea go down. I think a lot of us do. I think any sane and reasonable person, especially those sane and reasonable of us who have been cheated on in the past, recognize that any person who tries to profit off of infidelity, and not even in just a way where you're a licensed therapist and you focus on affair recovery. That's one thing. This broad is not even a licensed therapist, okay? She's just a lady who cheated, and she's like, and you can too. The details of this case, I don't want to give away too much, but I also have a short on it, so if you don't have an hour to dedicate to the story, I do have a 2-minute reel that you can also watch. But please do, I'm obsessed with this case. I will be keeping you guys posted throughout the entire legal trial of the other woman being sued. Okay? Let me see. What are you guys saying in the chat? I gotta double check. Who would like some cracked pepper with that video? Is it because I said she's a white lady? You gotta add some seasoning. I'm about to monetize the shittiness of my morality. Yeah. I was just listening to this podcast, one of the episodes of her podcast where she's talking about this whole situation that led to her being sued. Is she originally was trying to sue one of the betrayed spouses that her and her little cheater army were targeting, ended up getting countersued, and in this podcast she's literally talking about how she doesn't understand how anybody could see what she's doing wrong. She's like, I'm just trying to do a net good for the world by giving people who were already going to have affairs spaces to talk about it. And, I want to be the change that I want to see in the world. Like, people in affairs should be able to talk about these things with other people in affairs. And it's like, she tries to position it as this, space for healing when really all it is, a place for cheaters to teach each other the best methods for hiding their cheating from their spouses. So it deserves to go down. And it will. But I'll keep you guys posted on all that. For now, our original theme of the stream is we have found some video footage, it seems, here of a unique situation. Let me start getting this queued up for you guys.
Finally put this nigga to...
Alright.
Finally put this nigga to...
Dang it. Sorry, I'm trying to pause it. Okay. Also, I apologize in advance. They do say the N-bomb in this video, and that always makes me, a white lady, feel a little uncomfy. If I could censor it, I would, but just, don't take this as me advocating for the N-bomb. Not for me. Okay. I've almost got this synced up. I just want to make sure you guys can see the likes on it, because that's always important. Okay. Beautiful. Beauteous. We've got the volume going. Okay, so in this video that we are going to review today, Now, those of you who are visual only, don't worry about it. Whoever uploaded this actually blurred out any relevant faces, so it's mostly an audio piece that we're listening to anyway. But in this first video, the text on screen of the recording we are about to bear witness to. Oh, thank you for the cheer! Hold on, I gotta make that a little bit bigger or else I'll never be able to read it. But thank you. Text on screen reads, hold on, actually, I'm gonna keep watching it on here. Okay, reads, Sidechick breaks into boyfriend's phone to call his wife to see if they're actually still together. Wife is shocked. Before we watch this, initial thoughts, I'm curious. I just want to know what you guys think about this. We've been talking about a lot of cheating stuff lately, and we've also been talking lately about the fact that apparently this is actually federally illegal. There are federal wiretapping laws, and what a lot of people don't understand is I think when we think of wiretapping, we think of like you're literally using technology to listen in to a phone call the way police do, you know, like when they've got like the mic on you and they're listening from the van outside. But wiretapping can be as simple as you looking over your boyfriend's shoulder, seeing what his passcode is, and then using it to look at his phone. And then congrats, you've committed a federal crime. Easy enough, right? So a lot of people, though, kind of disregard this federal law when it comes to snooping for the sake of finding out whether or not you're being cheated on, whether or not you're experiencing financial infidelity, such as your spouse or significant other gambling all of the funds away. And the chaotic neutral in me also is inclined to say, there are some times, though. You know, one thing I say a lot is, look, if I smell smoke in my house, I'm going to go looking to see if there's fire. You know what I mean? In certain situations, if you are just like, something is so off and I need to have the truth confirmed, the chaotic neutral in me is like, the law can step aside for a moment. But in this case, you're a side chick who wants to know if your man is still actually with his wife. Well, the fact that you know she's his wife should indicate yes. Like, if you're even slightly confused, you can also look up public records. You can see if someone's divorced or still married or not. You know what I'm saying? You can look that up. And if they are still married, but they're telling you, we're separating, let me give you a nice, easy pro tip in this life. No, they're fucking not. Now, if you want to hear otherwise, you can always go pay $78 a quarter to subscribe to The Other Woman in the Wife community, where Chelsea Smallwood will happily, for a fee, tell you, of course you have a chance with that married man. Of course, look, just get him to take a coaching call with me. It usually takes about 4 coaching calls, so it's going to be a few $100s, but I can convince him to leave his wife for you. If you want to do that, there are options, but you will be wasting your money because at the end of the day, she's not going to be able to convince a married man to leave his wife. Like, it's not a thing. If that was actually a service that like anyone was actually good at, it would probably already be a booming business. But at the end of the day, like, married people are not leaving their spouses for their affair partners. I'm sorry. They're just not. Anyway, she does it. She breaks into the phone to call the wife. So now imagine you're getting a phone call from your spouse, and it's not your spouse on the line. Playing with fire here.
Put this nigga to sleep. Definitely broke into that phone. I'm definitely about to call his wife because he swears they're not together no more, but I'm not.
Do you need me to turn up the audio? I probably have to. It's probably a little quiet. Hold on. Let me just get the filter up a little bit for right now. Remind me to turn it down, though, so we don't get blasted later.
Finally put this nigga to sleep. Definitely definitely broke into that phone. I'm definitely about to call his wife because he swears they're not together no more, but I'm not fucking stupid. I'm not stupid. And he said he told her about me already, but I think he lying, so I'm about to call her and see what she say.
Still way quiet. I know she's like whispering, so I feel like it's gonna be quiet anyway. I see wifey here. Okay, so he's pulling her up. They blocked the face. What do you guys, do you want me to turn it up just a little bit more? Or are we gonna be good? I think we're past the main whispering part.
Hello?
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 Is this Sharon?
Yeah, who is this? And why are you calling me from this phone?
My name is Jasmine, and so I don't know. Your husband told me that he told you about us already, and that you guys are separated.
Wait. That we separated. How long you know him?
It's been like, I want to say like 6 months now.
So you called me to tell me you was sleeping with my husband?
Well, he didn't tell me that he had a wife for real. He said y'all were basically getting divorced, you know, and you weren't together anymore. But I don't know, men be lying. So I just, like I said, he's...
Yeah, real quick. Another pro tip in life. There's no such thing as, I don't have a wife for real. If you have a wife, you have a wife for real. If you don't have a wife, then you can say, I don't have a wife for real. But like literally, even if you're separating, but you are legally married, you have a wife for real, y'all.
Sleep right now. So I was like, let me just go into that.
So he at your house right now?
Yes, he's here a lot.
Oh, wow. Okay. All right. So, all right. Well, where you...
If you ever tell a woman something that you know she doesn't want to hear, and she responds with, you're fucked. You're so cooked. Just start running. Like, if you tell a woman something like that and she just starts laughing, you're in so much danger.
You live at, because now I feel like I need to pull up on him, because
what did I say?
Okay, first of all, let me go back. So why are you calling me? What are we supposed to be doing right now? Because I'm hot.
First of all, you need to relax, because I called you because he's over here.
Not you need to relax. Okay, you know how there's a form of self-removal called like death by cop, and it's essentially when a person knows that they want to D1E, I guess I'll say, so they antagonize law enforcement in such a way that they put their lives at risk. I feel like this is what she's doing. Like she's trying to like die by betrayed spouse, which like has to be just as close to death by cop, you know, like death by betrayed spouse has got to be right up there, but like antagonizing at this level to say you gotta relax. What do you mean you're gonna call me in the dead of night? Like I'm sorry, it looks like, I guess I can't tell. I don't know how I feel like I can tell. I think just by the fact that there's not a reflection off the phone is my brain telling me it's nunites time. You're going to disturb me during comfy, cozy nunites time? Tell me I'm being cheated on, then tell me to relax? Where are my brass knuckles? Like, I'm going to start finding weird stuff to beat on you with. I'm going to find like an Indiana Jones whip. I'm going to find like an entire lampshade. Weird stuff is coming your way now. That's how mad I am. What do you mean, relax? No.
You're telling me that y'all aren't together, and it's crazy to me that you're over here trying to snap on me. Your husband's not even home, so you want to...
And that's why I'm snapping, because I'm ready to...
She said that's crazy you're trying to snap on me. It's crazy for a betrayed person to be mad at... Okay.
Get over there and snap on him.
Okay, because I was about to say.
Because I'm not understanding, like, what you said y'all known each other how long?
Like 6 months now.
So you've been sleeping with him for 6 months?
Half
Okay,
a
first of
year?
all, no, I said I knew him for 6 months. We probably been sleeping together for like 5.
Oh my god, her freaking tone with this, like, no dummy, okay? Just because I said I've known him for 6 months doesn't mean that's how long we've been porking, okay? It took an entire month for me to allow his moisture-seeking heat missile inside of my beaver, okay? Are you stupid? How could you not know that? I feel like some people think that if they just kind of add that inflection to their tone, that whatever they're saying, like, is gonna be that much more sassy or correct or is gonna, like, land harder. It's like, literally they think if they add it to anything, like if I said, yeah, well, I eat my own poop for breakfast. Like, they think that that's a gotcha now because it was said that way.
But
So you've been sleeping with him for about 6 months?
I said what I said. And I don't like your tone because I'm trying to help you. And you're...
Can you just, like, be a little bit more polite when I tell you that you've been getting cheated on for half a year? Because I don't really like the way that you're acting like I'm not doing you a favor right now. Like, this is a person who's never been hit in the face. That's all I can say.
You're over here against me.
Are you helping me?
He told me y'all weren't together. Are you together or not? Because why is he
We're
here?
absolutely together.
So why
We're
here?
absolutely
So then why is
together.
he
I
here?
have paperwork behind that.
Okay, paperwork. Why is he here?
Not the, okay, paperwork. Like, I think some people, like, you don't care that there is paperwork. You don't, like, that doesn't bother you at all. Like, oh my god. The tone, I don't like your tone. Okay, paperwork. Yeah, rules for me, but not for thee. Oh my god. I usually, and here's the thing too, is typically I have a lot of compassion and empathy for a person who has begun a relationship with a person who they did not know was in a relationship, or they've been deceived into thinking that there is a true legal separation and there might be a marriage on paper, but, you know, it's really dissolved. There's a lot of people who get tricked into those situations, and it's not fair and it's not their fault. However, as soon as you do find out that you're the other woman, if you do anything to lie to that woman when she's asking you direct questions, gaslight that woman when she's asking you direct questions, antagonize that woman in any way, now you are the enemy. Now you have all of the same culpability. You are just as terrible of a person. Like, you've lost the innocence now. Because, like, I understand that you might be frustrated that you found out that the guy who's, like, doesn't have a wife like that for real does have a wife like that for real. Quit treating her and talking to her like it's her fault that this man lied to you. Come on now. And it's like, I'm sorry, but yes, the wife has way more of a reason to be taking a negative tone with you, calling her off of her husband's phone, than you have to be taking a tone with her for being shocked. She is in distress right now, okay? She couldn't even legally sign a document under this much duress. What do you mean?
And that's what we're going to find out. But it's okay because I'm going to get new paperwork and then he can stay there.
I don't want him either if he's cheating on you.
That's so funny. She's like, yeah, I'm his wife on paper, but we can get a new piece of paper and actually you can keep him. That's hilarious.
He can absolutely stay there.
No,
because
he
what he's
can't.
not going to do is play in my face while you're over there laid up with you.
I guess. Well, I'm going to send you the location right now. You can come talk to him yourself.
Absolutely.
All right,
Thank you very much. Yeah.
So this woman just doesn't, like, seem to have many brain cells, is kind of, like, what I'm gathering from this situation. Because, like, I talk about this analogy a lot, where there's a certain kind of person who lives more ideally than realistically, and not at all to any benefit of anybody around them. They're the kind of person who thinks in their head, cars are not supposed to hit pedestrians. And so they just walk out into the middle of the expressway. Like, that kind of thinking. Like, yes, if you invite your boyfriend's wife to your house after telling her you've been effing her dude for seasons, entire seasons, no, she shouldn't cold clock you through the face, not at it. She shouldn't. But if you think that's not a very real possibility, I don't know, I can just tell you're fatherless. That's all I can say. Like, because of an active father would warn you about this, I feel. Why didn't your no mother either? Why didn't your mother tell you that if you help a man cheat on his wife, like 48 hours? We've never heard of this. Like, this is all Chelsea's fault somehow, Greg. I completely agree. I'm kind of thinking she antagonized the wife just so she would come beat his ass. Like, well, that's the thing, is if she's hoping for, like, let's come together and get him, that happens. That absolutely happens. I've seen it happen in real life, you know, where women come together to catch a man, and now he's suddenly got, like, the worst interrogation room of his life. You know what I mean? I've heard of that, but she's not doing a very good job because she's being an a-hole to this lady too. All she knows how to do is make enemies tonight, okay? Oh wait, that's my master list. I gotta pull up for the next one.
Yo, this lady really pulled up to my house, like. Is that her?
Who else is it gonna be?
That has to be her. Let me go wake him up. Yo, your wife here, bro. Your wife is here, bro. Your wife is here. Like, your wife is here. Yo.
She is truly just a shit stirrer, dude. Like, that's all that's happening, is she literally calls this lady and gives her the address and then goes, oh my God, she really showed up? That's crazy. And now she's gonna wake up her man as if she didn't cause all of this, and it's like, your wife is here. I don't know, but she's here. I don't know how this happened, though. And, like, don't get me wrong, does he kind of deserve this? I mean, yeah, this is literally definition of F around and find out. Like, you're cheating on your wife. You probably didn't vet your side piece to proper security, you know what I mean? Like, you would have been better off paying an escort than this.
Yo, she really... What is she doing?
What do you think she's doing?
Excuse me.
Hold up, like
I
she
told
said she
you.
would.
I definitely told you could have him, so I don't know why you're here bringing his stuff. Listen,
Jamal.
Can you please?
Jamal.
I'm going to get him. Can you please just stay right here, please? Don't do that. Don't do too much. Listen, I don't know what this is like. I don't know what you're trying to do here, but I told you
What
that.
I'm trying to do
But I
is
told
I'm bringing
you.
him his stuff.
I told you.
Because he been with you, right? We've been married for years.
It's only been-
Did
it's
he
only-
tell you how long we've been together?
No.
We've been together for 10 years.
That's not.
And this ain't my fault.
Yo!
You fucking lying.
Yo, stop playing with me.
So that must be Jamal that we see literally fleeing the vicinity. Now, why the hell are we full on running? Is this his method of, like, plausible deniability? Like, you didn't actually see me there. You don't know that that was me. Just because she called you from my phone. I gotta say, that kind of speed, though, after just waking up, I'm impressed. Jamal, this is not Jamal's first escape from a side piece's house, I must say.
Well, there you go. Like I said, you can have him and take his stuff. I'm good.
Now, what do you think about the wife coming to drop his stuff off at the house? What do you think about that move? I think that move is pretty hilarious. And I don't know if it's necessarily illegal. There's probably some kind of grounds for, like, dumping, maybe? I'm not sure. But, like, I love that the wife was like, oh, Bet, you're calling to tell me that you're with my man? Then you're with my man. Congratulations. Here's his things. Here's what kind of bottle he takes and when to feed him. Good luck. I gotta say, and there's more to this too. There is indeed a part 3 that we will be sharing with you, but as is my new motto on this show, we cannot save these hoes. Only God can save these hoes. And the best we can do is glean insight from the situation. And I gotta say, yeah, whoever said based, wife is so based right now, honestly. This is really good advice for anybody who, God forbid you ever find yourself in this situation. But if you are, I love that absolute queen mentality. Here she is 10 years deep, an entire decade. And she's like, oh, bet he wants to let a little 6-month fling throw away an entire decade? Then that's what he wants to do. Okay. That is a woman who truly has found her own sense of self-worth. And not just in that, like, boss babe independent means, but, like, self-worth. Ladies and gentlemen, everybody in between, okay? You have to have that sense of self at all times. It's like in the UFC. Protect yourself at all times, okay? That's exactly what this wife is doing. Part 3.
What's insane to me is that y'all have been dragging me for weeks at this point for being a side chick unknowingly.
Okay, so this is now her uploading following this upload. Okay, kind of checking back in with the audience. It sounds like, I don't know what she thought was going to happen when she originally uploaded those 2 videos, if she thought people were going to be on her side, like, oh, that wife is crazy, oh my God, but they clearly were not. A lot of people probably, I won't be able to see the original comments because all I have is this kind of edited version now, but I can only imagine that people had the same thoughts that I did of like, W wife, like, let's go.
When this man told me that he was getting a divorce and was separated until I spoke to his wife. So I can see all the comments and all the commentary like, oh, you're this, you're that, and I hope she sues you. Like, y'all sound dumb because y'all don't even know what you're talking about. I had no idea. And this man's been blowing me up for days now.
Hold on. I also want to say, people were in her comments saying, I hope she sues you. Now, this is something interesting that I actually never knew until I made my most recent video on Chelsea Smallwood and the other woman's situation and her getting sued, is I was always under the impression that you can't just sue your dude's side piece. Like, that's not really a thing. I think it's absolutely grounds for perhaps a fault divorce. Not grounds for losing custody, though, in my opinion. But I'm like, you can't just, like, sue a side piece, unless, of course, they turn their cheating into a business entity that offers coaching, and then within that business entity, they admit to breaking several laws, such as breaking into the betrayed spouse's home and using her sex toys without her permission, and then spying on the betrayed spouse on her own private property, performing intimate acts with her husband with binoculars. All things Chelsea's coach, Olivia Nicodemus, admits to within her community and is seen within this lawsuit, right? Like, that's the only way that I could ever imagine you could sue your man's side piece, is if she literally committed additional crimes, right? However, I've learned that there are certain states, I think there's only like 8 left, so don't go like running to the courthouse to try and file this, where you can file something called alienation of affection against your partner's side piece, because essentially they alienated what was supposed to be your spousal commitment. Isn't that interesting? I'm curious. I would like to know the last time someone actually, when was if I spelled correctly, that would help. Last time someone successfully sued for alienation of affection. I'm so curious. According to recent news reports, one of the most recent successful alienation of affection lawsuits was in North Carolina, where a man was awarded $750,000 against his ex-wife's lover in 2019, highlighting that this legal claim is still possible in a few states like North Carolina, though rarely used elsewhere. Hey, yo! Damn, getting cheated on is a pain that is not easily healed. but $750,000 might start to get me there. Whew! Oh my lord. Okay, so the more you know. That was a very fun fact, I think. Back to the video.
Kind of like, you know, talk to me about everything, and I'm like, I'm not even entertaining it, because I told her she could have him back. And yes, I said she can have back her husband, because that's what I said. What I said, she can have back her husband.
Okay, it sounds like people were mad about that comment in the comments. Is the idea that she would even say, like, you can have him back, because it's something like, you don't need to say that. I know I can have my husband back. He legally belongs to me. Like, I'm aware of that. You're not, like, granting him. Because if you could have him, he wouldn't even be coming back to the wife's house at all. He would have just left his wife for you, right? But that's not what happens with these affairs, though.
So at this point, I'm going to call him back just so y'all can hear the conversation, like how narcissistic and how trifling this lady's husband is.
Oh my God. Like, I believe it. I believe this man is narcissistic and trifling. That seems to be the case here. But I also think that you guys were made for each other. Because why are you not just letting this go? That wife, very demure, very thoughtful, very has self-respect and knows how to move with grace. This side piece, very antagonistic, very shit-stirring, very let's keep the drama going as long as we possibly can, very let's do it for the clout and the clicks and the video. Like, come on.
And yes, I'm going to call him her husband, because he's not my man.
Don't answer, cheater is his name. I mean, good for her for having some self-actualization here.
Hello?
But also ironic to have him in the phone as don't answer, but clearly didn't think to put a little note in there as like, don't call.
Yeah.
Yo, man, what's up with you?
Nothing. I was just calling you back because you keep calling me.
Matter of fact, yeah. Hold on, yo. Let me call you right back, because you like doing a lot of recording and shit. Like, you're funny as hell. Like, oh,
Not her getting completely cold clocked. Not him being like, nah, because I'm probably being recorded.
like that.
Whatever you gotta do.
Yeah, right.
Hello?
Hello?
What's up?
Yo, like, nah, what's up with you? Like, you like doing a lot of dropping locations and all this other shit. Like, what's up?
Well, I don't understand why you're getting mad at me. You lied. Why would you tell me that you don't have a wife, that you're separated, if you really was still with her?
Valid.
That's what I'm confused about.
Valid.
I'm saying, man, like, at the end of the day, it's like, you knew what it was between us. Like, come on, man. Like, I told you I was in a situation shit, man. That's what it was. But you all calling her and y'all setting up this and that and the third, and you got me out here looking crazy, man.
It's so frustrating whenever you see, like, two toxic narcs talking to each other. It's like watching, like, two alien monsters fight. You're not really rooting for either of them, but you're also, like, entranced by the gore and violence of it all, almost. Like, here he is going, you got me looking crazy! Like, your own freaking actions have you looking crazy. What do you mean we got you running away from the scene? Like, because here's the thing. There's only one innocent person in this, and it's the wife. Only one. And I don't want to hear nothing about, well, people only cheat if there's something wrong going on at home, because that's not always true. Don't get me wrong. I have a lot of empathy for people who are, like, withheld intimacy and those who have needs. There is some modicum of understanding here. But if we don't have a reason to blame the wife, let's just not right now. Let's go off the context clues we have. We have brother out here saying, you made me looking crazy. You should be living your life in a way that if someone tried to make you look crazy, it would be hard to do. You know what I'm saying? He did not make it very hard for her to do.
I'm like,
I got you looking crazy.
yeah, you got me looking crazy, because if it wasn't for you dropping the location, I would have never had to take my ass running down the fucking street.
Well, you shouldn't have lied. If you didn't lie, then this would have never happened. And it's crazy that you're trying to paint this picture like everyone thinks I'm the bad guy because I'm over here calling and doing all this extra stuff. But
there can be two bad guys. It's possible. There's a movie called Bad Guys. It's not just bad guy. There's more than one of them.
You lied to me. You lied to me, and she said she wanted to come pull up. So I said, come get your husband.
Man, you keep saying lying. I did not lie. I just ain't tell you the full extent because
You know what? Let them have each other. They deserve this kind of hell on earth of like cyclical narc abuse just unleashed upon each other. Listen, I didn't lie. I just didn't tell you the full extent of the truth. Like, you're really tripping saying I'm lying right now when all I did was tell you a version of the truth that was not actually the truth. Like, come on, bro.
I knew something like this would happen. Like, I knew it. Like, come on, man. You gotta learn how to play your position. Like,
wow.
Everything is good. Like, yeah, like, come on. You saying wow, but you get what I'm saying. Like, come on. Like why are you involved with anybody else into our situation? Like,
learn to play your position, he says. He says, come on. I had alluded to you that you were the side piece. Take on the role. Like, come on. Like, come on. If we're really going to do all that, here's my thing. If you're going to tell your side piece that she has to commit and now be the one who's, like, wholly responsible for keeping your secrets, then, like, what's your role? What's your role? You gotta then be like the pay pig or something. What's your role then in all of this? What's your position? Like, just you? You're the prize?
this is supposed to be what we got. Come on, you worried about the wrong shit.
Well, I'm done with this situation. How about that?
Ooh, she got him. Ooh, got him. Oh my God. Listen, that's so embarrassing. That is so embarrassing. And here's the thing too, like, posting that on your own social media like that, like, I already know that there's some kind of like inner daddy issues at play or something, to where you are even finding yourself in the situation of playing games with someone that you know is married and you know is lying to you. But to then further cement your reputation as a home-wrecking side piece by putting it out there on the internet, you really don't think that like any future men in your life are gonna find this? What about like your future children? You know what I mean? Like, I don't know. I always say your social media and the kinds of reels and posts that you make public become your dating resume. That's what people look to when they first hear about you to get a gauge before the date. And, you know, we hear all these people on Bumble and Tinder and all this complaining of like, man, they talk to me on the app, but then when it comes time for the date, they completely ghost me. What's up with that? Or, you know, we were talking for a couple weeks and then all of a sudden they just disappeared. And they want our sympathy. They want us to think that there's just these evil, shitty people who like to play with hearts and lead people on just 'cause. But what if, maybe, just maybe, they found your social media and weren't impressed because it was filled with shit like this? I'm sorry, but if I'm talking to a guy and I'm like, you know, he's kind of cute, he's kind of funny. This is like hypothetical single Lauren, of course. I'm Chad widowed by TJ, so this is like obviously not even in our reality. But let's say
I'm about to beat this guy up.
Did you guys hear TJ from the other room? He's about to beat up this metaphorical dude. But, you know, and then I go and I find his TikTok, and he's got this like insane unhinged video of himself calling up some other husband, messing around with this lady, calling her up, posting all of this. Yeah, I'm not gonna like explain. I'm not gonna like, I don't feel like I owe this person an explanation of like, oh, well, you know, actually the reason that I became uninterested was because you're insane and dramatic, and being with you would be like an MTV reality show. Like, most people aren't going to do that because the answer is simple. If you tell an unhinged person who's obsessed with drama anything negative, Guess who's going to be the next victim of their unhinged drama? Ta-da! Like, that's the reason that people don't tend to say that kind of stuff, is they're just like, because I don't need to. I can just walk away. And maybe that's why. I just don't see much hope for much stable relationships in her life. Same with this gentleman here. You're never ever going to be able to have any kind of consistently good relationships. Even if this man decides, you know what, monogamy isn't for me, I'm going to start living my life as an ethically non-monogamous man where I just straight up tell people I'm not monogamous, proceed with caution with me, you know what I mean? Even if I decide to live that kind of life, like, that would just never happen, because in order for true polyamory, ethical non-monogamy to work, you have to be the kind of person who can take accountability. In order for any relationship to work, monogamy or non-monogamy, you have to be able to look at your own actions and own them. And these are people who can't do that. They're just not capable of it. So to them, I'm not saying healing is impossible for them, but I am saying they should not be dating anybody as of right now. And the wife, I hope she meant it when she was like, I'm going to go get some new papers. I really hope she did, because I will say, there's like a less than 10% chance of a marriage surviving infidelity. This is not one of those marriages. Because in order for the marriage to survive infidelity, the cheater has to be accountable. They have to do the work. I'm talking locations on, open phone policy, constant reassurance, doing the work. This man is not doing no work. He literally and figuratively flees from his problems. Literally and figuratively flees from wisdom. Just gone. Okay? I'm glad he can run, though. It's good. It's a good life skill. Hey, this will be my only cheer, but I should show you a funny video of a dude talking about how good he is at cheating. It's pretty insane. Dude, I might have seen this. Is his name Cash? There's this guy, I've seen his videos, but there's this guy, Cash. I don't remember his last name, but I know he goes by Cash. He's got these big blue eyes and these like almost like fake white teeth. And he's always talking about how he's on like 3 for 3 of marrying women for their money. And now he just like rides out the child support and alimony. Like he just marries wealthy older women, knocks them up, and then leaves them and makes them pay him child support and alimony. Like that's his like shtick. And he's got a lot of supporters, because there's a lot of men who are like, finally, a dude doing it to the women, and not understanding that that's the same as like opening the draft to women as well, instead of just making it so that no one has to mandatorily sign up to be in the service. You know what I mean? Like, you're missing the mark on justice here. Now you gotta get years of experience to be this dumb. Just consistent stupidity to build that resume. Oh, Lord. Yeah, women gold diggers do that, but it doesn't mean that we should copy their efforts. I'm also going to agree with Nicholas Mueller here. Y'all should hit that like button down below. Yeah, that one's wild. I don't know about that. But in a way, you know, we were debating at the beginning of this if it was right for that woman to go through that man's phone and call the wife. In a way, think about it, like, she could have kept this going. Like, it could have been months to even years long of this affair going if she didn't. So, back to my chaotic neutral heart, in the grand scheme of things, it ended up being the right decision, because now the wife is able to make informed, consensual decisions about her own life, whereas previously she was not able to do that. You know? It's the importance of receiving disclosure, you know? These betrayed spouses, they do deserve to know. A lot of these affair partners, they really like to erase their own culpability, because, you know, it's not my relationship. It's not my responsibility to be loyal to this person. She's a stranger to me. I don't need to tell her anything. You know, this is a very popular mindset. But, you know, typically when you ask these same people, well, what would you do if you were getting cheated on, or what would you do if you got told you were being cheated on? They typically say, oh, well, I would leave. Isn't that interesting? That you would probably want to have the autonomy and informed ability to make that decision for yourself, right? Interesting how that's the decision that you would want to be able to make. You know what I'm saying? But as we say, cheaters don't win. These cheating bullies stay losing. We love to see it. The next thing I want to show you, you're going to have to give me a minute to get it all nice and cleanly brought up here, but I got it for you. This is one tons of you guys have been tagging me in. A lot of you guys have been wanting me to cover this one. So we will. Okay. Let me just get it nice and neat. Okay. A bunch of you guys tagged me in this one, and I didn't fully even watch it until this morning, but I had added it to my list of things to react to. And I first kind of looked at it and I was like, okay, everybody wants me to respond to like just this guy fooling around with like a spool of wire. And I was thinking it was probably going to be something like, oh, you know, my original take on it was probably going to be something like, you know, men are just, we think they're so simple, but look at here he is like marinating on what this all could be used for. I'm sure that's what it's going to be about. But once I watched it, I realized why you guys tagged me in this. So we're going to turn the volume on and we're going to watch this together. For audio only folks, what we are looking at is an older man, not like super old or anything, but you know, he's got some life on him, sitting out on the back deck with Gen X. Okay. Thanks, babe. That's kind of startled me, actually. Did you guys see me be like, oh, why am I being yelled at? Is my jujitsu professor here and I'm like stuck in a stupid position? Why am I being yelled at? But yeah, he's just chilling and he's got a spool of wire in his hand and his wife comes out to talk to him. So here's what we got. I thought I hit not mute.
To check on you.
Huh?
What are you doing?
Yeah, thank you.
Thought you were working.
I'm looking at this.
What is it?
It's wire. It's a spool of wire. And I'm almost out of it. Can you see the spool of wire?
Mm-hmm.
I'm almost out of it.
Okay.
And I've had this spool of wire for like 40 years. I bought it like this it's not a piece of a long time ago, but it's like 40 years of my life is in the wire that's gone. Does that make sense? This is what's left. Does that make
I'm
sense?
sorry to hear that. I'm sad for you, but you're wearing your Jets hat, and I'm a little concerned right now that you're wearing your Jets hat. I thought that's why you were crying.
Okay, I'm done.
Hey, what are you doing?
Okay. I'm going to make a short about this too, but you guys now get early access to my thoughts. So basically, this guy has like this kind of prolific realization just looking at this spool of wire. And it's one that not many people will ever truly have such tangible access to. But he's out there and he's looking at the spool of wire and he comes to this huge realization that he's essentially looking at his own sands of time slipping through his own fingers, and that through the spool of wire and through his day-to-day labor, he's almost able to measure how much time he has left. That's so far from a simple thought. This is something that's deep and metric and almost like an ego death in a way. And you can tell, especially if you were watching visually and you were able to see him kind of choking back his emotions and tears welling up in his eyes, that this is kind of a big moment for him. And it's not necessarily that he's sad or upset, but the gravity of this realization is really kind of monumental in his life. It's one of those huge realizations that you never stop thinking about again for the rest of your life. And in this moment, in any of these types of moments, what you want so badly is for the person closest to you, like physically and emotionally, the person who's right there, that you can just immediately tell you had this insane, amazing experience to hear you, to be able to share in that with you. And instead, what he gets from his wife is essentially like, yeah, get back to work. What are you doing? Why are we wasting our time here? Like, it almost felt like she was just waiting for him to finish talking so that she could make the Jets hat joke. Because you have to also ask yourself, how did we get here? How did we get this video? Right? Here's how we got the video. Wife sees husband getting emotional out on the back deck, and her first thought is record, shove phone in face. Why? Why was that your first thought for how to deal with your husband's emotions? Was, how can I bottle these for clout? That was your first thought? Like, the whole interaction makes me think, oh my God, my husband's out there crying. What if he's crying because the Jets lost? That would be a funny joke. Which, like, I think we can all agree men don't, in general, cry very often. And there's not, like, a typecast of, like, what kind of man does cry. But I'll say, like, Gen X men of this nature are probably, like, in the lower demographic of, like, comfortable with crying necessarily. So this was, I've got to imagine, a rare moment in time. One that she used to be like, gotta make a joke of it. Oh, hey.
This is the demographic of what men who cry look like. This is at
true.
Literally anything.
Very true.
Yeah, literally anything.
My husband be crying. That's true.
Heartwarming animal person moment, done. Parent-child moment, done. I'm like Gus from Psych.
Dude,
I cannot watch a grown man cry. I'm a sympathetic crier.
Dude, I specifically did not film giving you your early Christmas present because I thought you might cry.
I didn't just cry.
I've actually never heard you cry like that before. But maybe once. But man, yeah, I felt not that I like try to get my husband to cry.
I've been under a lot of stress, so it was a nice kind of like weight off my shoulders moment of. A lot came out there. A lot. It was like months worth of cancer, not sickness, cancer, astrological sign, emotional backup.
Hold on. I see your cheer here. And actually, you had the same thought that my husband did when he reacted to this. She could have easily made this wholesome, but no. That's exactly what TJ said, was when I showed him this, he was like, dude, she could have easily been like, oh my God, that's so profound and prolific of you. I completely see what you're saying. I thought you were just crying because of the Jets.
Yeah, she could have kept the joke while still completely validating the emotional moment he was having. Like, he wasn't even asking to be like, oh, poor baby. It was literally just some to be validated in the thoughts that he was having. But
is it weird to say I understood what the man said? No, I think we all understood it. That's the thing, is like...
It was really poignant. Like, it was such not an obvious, but a really, like, a nice, clear and concise metaphor that I think everyone can kind of connect with a little bit. And we're like, wow, that's a, like you were saying, it was a great, like, representation of just... It was like I was saying when I get all of my artwork together and I go, oh, wow.
Yeah.
I have been, it's something to go, my life is representative in, like, actual physical work, you know, and so it's something to think about. He's probably been thinking, like, all of the places that wire has been used, like, to what lengths his life has been able to like affect people through these 40 years of Wire. You know, so again, it's like I think there were a lot of layers going on with him, like, holy shit. Not just life wasted, but where's all the places that this wire has been used? Like, that's how much it's touched.
Oh, snap. Yeah, Girthy also just sent me another male master cheater, so we might have to...
Alright, I'm gonna get out of here. It's just, you said that,
back.
and I'm like... It's okay, I'm working on my
TJ
comic.
cards.
You can play some more TJ cards. I gotta change my pants and see if how the boy's doing, if he's done with exams early or not, too. I haven't checked my phone in a little bit.
Oh, if he gets done early enough, he might be able to come to her parade.
Yeah.
Aw, that would be sweet. Sorry, we're just having some parenting discussions mid-live. Don't mind us. I know you don't. But yeah, I mean, to give you an idea of, especially you, Cimarine, who I'm talking to right now, to give you an idea, though, of like how many other people understood this, this video is, last I checked, I'm sure it's up a lot higher now. This video is at 5.8 million views. And, oh, people are just not happy with this couple. I'll show you in a second what I mean. But, like, we'll go through these comments for now to give you an idea. Like, okay, first of all, how often does the collective majority of society side with the husband? How often does it happen? Never. None times is how many times it happens. Husbands were almost like built and designed to be thrown under the bus by their wives, comedically, almost, is how it feels so much of the time. So the fact that the internet rallied behind bro and his spool of wire is one of those like rare yums of justice that we don't get very often. But we can see in the comments, this just made me so angry for him. This man is facing mortality and romanticizing his life, and that's the response. I'm just angry for him. This guy needs a hug and a kiss from his wife. If it's important to him, it's important to you, ladies. Leave the brother alone. Let him have his moment. Well, that checks. Husband needs some quiet or at least understanding, but you chose to make it worse. Normal wife move. Now, I don't like this kind of stuff. This is that kind of, like, low-key misogyny where, like, I know you guys are just speaking hyperbolically out of frustration, but this is not normal wife behavior. It's really not. This is one of those times where the loudest of the worst of them are what's heard. You know what I mean? Like I said, I'm not recording myself, giving my husband gifts that I know will make him cry. So you guys aren't seeing that. But all of the women who do like to terrorize their husbands and make a spectacle of it are doing just that. And it's very loud. So not exactly normal. Okay, Punslinger, I'll take stereotypical wife behavior for 200. Well, shucks, I was about to send this to my wife so she could witness a sweet moment of male vulnerability until I saw how it ended. Now I'm sending it to her as a thank you for being an understanding wife. Shit, kind of had me tearing up, my G. There was so much opportunity there. She could have been invited into his inner world with the most lovely, nostalgic conversations. But no, a sentimental, thought-provoking moment ruined. And for what? We're really out here wasting the human experience. Glad my wife isn't this emotionally brain dead. Oh my god. Oh, our girl Elise! We love Elise Michaels, by the way. Go give her a follow. We love her. She's great. Come on, girl. He was having a moment. You had such a chance to connect with him. We hear you. Hold on. Let me just... Boop. Love you, Elise. That's 40 years of his life he spent using that spool of wire, and you're making fun of him. Yeah, before we move on to, like, one follow-up on this situation, that was another thing that I thought of. It was a thought in my mind, and especially for any men in a similar age camp, I want to know if this might be a thought that you would have had in that moment, but it's a very dangerous game to take a grown-ass man's deepest thoughts and moments and patronize them, minimize them, or otherwise put them down. Because what we are looking at is something that is under the umbrella of, let's say, midlife crisis, but not really. There's got to be another term for it, but on the same coin that midlife crisis comes from, there's the other side of it, which is the acknowledgement that when you reach a certain big enough age, you know who you are, you know what you stand for, you know what you want, and from that same place that the crisis comes from, the kind of reckless abandon, fearlessness, I'm just going to pursue what I want to pursue, a lot of people take the more noble route of that, of, you know what, I do still have a lot of my life left, and I'm going to live it the way that I want to. It's very dangerous to play with a man or a woman who is at that point in their life, because if you show them that you're not really there for them like that you don't really support them like that, or worse, that you're willing to mock them for that, they might be at that exact right place in their lives to go, then fuck it. Then fuck it and fuck you. You know what I'm saying? And what's realistically, that's not just at this age. If you fuck around with people and their deepest emotions, just get ready to lose them. Even if he doesn't divorce her, that might be the last time that he ever feels comfortable sharing something like that. In the future, if he ever has a moment like that, he might just say, I'm gonna go tell I'm going to tell Tim at work. He'll appreciate it. And you might just lose those moments. You might not get the chance to connect with him in those same ways, in a way that would be really beautiful. You know, it doesn't have to be as devastating as you lose your husband forever, but losing small pieces of your spouse hurts. Should hurt. And what's going to be really aggravating is when it does manifest that way, and he does stop telling her things, and instead of looking back at this one moment and going, man, maybe this is because of that time that I made him feel like such a piece of shit when he did open up to me, it's going to turn into, he just shut down out of nowhere. He just suddenly stopped talking to me, and I'm the victim. So I gotta agree with Elise's take on this one when she said, you know, this could have been a big moment for you. Hopefully this is a learning curve. I looked into a bit of this couple's other content, and it does seem as though for the most part, they really try to focus on healthy, wholesome relationship content. At least, I mean, I only watched a few videos. I don't know if maybe they specialize in like pranks or anything like that. It didn't seem like that to me. Like, when I'm kind of like perusing this page, it just kind of seems like slice of life type stuff. They're golfing, they're in a relationship. I heard them talk about something like their relationship contract, which it actually did sound wholesome. It sounded like just kind of like rules that they agree to. I think they said their number one rule was that they'll never try to hurt each other on purpose, which is ironic now, but also worth thinking about. Do I think she did that on purpose? No. And I think that's where we do have some room and leverage for forgiveness here, is she might have just, like I said, been caught up and being like, oh, I want to make this joke, and maybe not really thought too much on the severity or the impact of that situation. It might have just been a really stupid moment. But I want to show you one other video from this couple, just to give you kind of a slice of what they usually look like, my reaction, and then how the comments are reacting to their newest videos. Let's go. Oh, let's turn the volume on.
I'm getting in the shower. Where are you?
Yeah, I'm right here, right around the corner. Come here. Okay. All right, look. Open that side.
What are you doing?
Open the door.
Stay out of this closet. It is not for you to be in.
What are these?
Oh, these are my sheets.
These are your sheets.
And they are arranged perfectly. Look,
Okay.
This is one set, this is one set, this is one set.
Okay, do me a favor. Pull that set out.
Like, honest to God.
Pull it out like you're going to go put it on the...
Here it goes, on the bed.
Okay.
What's wrong with
hold
that?
Hold the video camera right
Why?
there.
Why?
Just hold it right there.
Oh my God. What are you doing?
That's how this whole closet should look. So I'm going to do all these sheets in this closet because you keep the most beautiful home, and I open this closet and it looks like we live on the street.
Maybe you should stay the fuck out of my closet.
I'm doing it from now on. I'm doing the sheets.
Fine,
Done.
yeah.
So what's funny is if I would have seen this video before the other one, I would be on the wife's side. Dude, you just said you keep a beautiful home. You're telling me she keeps the whole rest of the house spotless and she can't have one feral raccoon goblet sheet closet? She deserves one feral raccoon goblin sheet closet. That's what my sheet closet looks like, okay? I keep it pretty together. My husband will be the first to tell you that between the two of us, I am the clean one, okay? Sheets? No. Like I said, we talked a lot today about self-preservation, self-worth. My time is worth more than folding sheets. And like when he gave the whole demonstration, the sheets, they took up the same amount of space. He wasn't selling me on it, quite frankly. You are not going to take away my shit piles from me, okay? Every single time the sheets need to go away, it's gonna be a big stacked ball, and it'll get the job done. But what did the people think about this situation? In a world where they would ordinarily be on the wife's side, we have... All jokes aside, you seriously need to apologize for The Wire. We remember The Wire. We demand action. I hate her. Oh, God. You don't care about your husband. He was having a moment and you made fun of him because you wanted a video for Instagram. I can tell that you don't have anything you care about or hold sacred or have any sentimental value. All you care about is social media and spending your husband's money. These have so many likes. This first one has 825. This has 500. This one has 174. All right, this is a little bit much. I don't know how you can glean all of that. I also made the observation that she's a little bit social media hungry, but I don't know about all that. Apologize for that man's wire. Apologize for The Wire, Cindy. Apologize for The Wire. Be a better wife. You've got 12 missed calls, notifications, and voicemails from The Wire. Cindy, you still have to apologize for The Wire. I swear our old straight couple's always comprised of one good person and one person who sucks the joy out of every room they're in. That's you, Cindy! Oh my God! Cindy is suffering the karmic retribution right now. Y'all did not let Cindy simply get away with that one. Guys, I watched all their videos. It's the same theme throughout. I know in a few days she will convince Dan to make a video telling us to stop. We will not until she apologizes for The Wire. Hashtag Wiregate. Oh, man. Yeah, their bio says, finding your chairs, authors, lovers, creators. And then this is their picture, very like romantic shot of like, we're old, but we still got it. You know, we can only dream about it. What is this link? Am I about to... Please don't tell me it's an OnlyFans. I would cry. Okay. Podcast? You better apologize on this podcast. So they've got like a book, I guess. A new approach to communication. Looks like we might need to work on that approach a little bit, Dan and Cindy, because I think that we might have some deeper laced resentments than we'd like to admit here. Okay. Oh, man. Look, do I... Oh, God. I've got a Punslinger all up in my face. Let me scooch that over. Oh, my God. Punslinger slinging puns. Punslinger says... Damn, it's really getting down to the wire. Why are you in here slinging puns so good? Got you on that one. Look, do I think that Cindy is canceled? Do I think Cindy is the worst, most Karen-like wife? Probably not. I do get the vibe from like the one or two other videos that I saw of them that they have a pretty good loving rapport. They do center the foundation of their marriage. They are actively always trying to work at things, and I can respect that. However, in conclusion for this story, I must agree with the general public that we do demand an apology for Wiregate. You didn't just hurt Dan when you deprived him of his moment like that. You hurt us all, okay? You took away something from all of us. And while we thank you for at least capturing that moment on video so that someone, the rest of us at least, could give Dan his laurels for that moment, you, Cindy, in that moment, you did fail. And so, I gotta gavel it. You are court ordered to apologize to Dan for The Wire. This case is adjourned. Oh, Dan and Cindy, you're such cards. What do I want to cover with you next? We're only going to go until about 1 o'clock today. My daughter is representing the United States of America in a parade of nations. So I must go represent America. Man, I should have asked to borrow my friend's inflatable bald eagle suit now that I'm thinking about it. Absolutely blowing it by just showing up as a regular mom, but she's been really looking forward to it. She made herself a little American flag. So cute, so cute. All right. Let's watch this very unhinged one. Let me get this one queued up for us. You gotta click to pause right away on these things, and we gotta unmute. Okay. Since we're currently on kind of a side chick theme this stream, I figured this one might be good for us. Someone sent me this, and I've seen some shit in my day, right? Especially covering Chelsea Smallwood's whole side piece business and all of the degeneracy that goes on in there. I've seen some shit, but this one still has managed to just shock and awe me. So let's get into it. We've got a woman who says how she handles her husband's side chick.
They had him a side bitch and didn't want to tell me who it was. So you know I had to get a private investigator and find out where she lived, find out where she worked. And come to find out, she was being funny on Facebook, acting like I'm supposed to be mad because she be with him on the weekends and shit like that. So I went up to this bitch job and I had to let her know. Listen here, I love him. And I love him so much, that means I love you too. So I'm gonna need you to hop on board Team Mitchell and get this shit right. I started bringing her lunch. I would bring her breakfast at work.
No.
I would bring her lunch in the afternoon. I'd cook for her, invite her over for dinner, but she would never want to come. And one time she ran out of gas, and I was right there because I was just making sure she got to work okay. I wasn't stalking her.
No.
I was just making sure she was getting to work. So when she saw that I was right there behind her when she ran out of gas, instead of being like, damn, I'm glad you saved me, she was fucking mad. No, bitch, I'm going to treat you right. Because if he love you, I love you. Bitch, you going to be treated right. I care. That's it. So your kids, you need to let me see them. I want to see my kids. They're our kids.
You gotta let me see our kids? You gotta let me see my kids? What?
And bitch, you better not cheat on him, because if you do, you got a whole nother thing coming. You're not gonna break his heart, because then you breaking my heart. So if you end this for life. Team Mitchell. They had him.
Oh making his side piece lunch. I was inviting her over for dinner. She didn't want to come. Man, this is what I'm saying is like, do men even really need to cheat for real? Because it seems to me that there are plenty of women out there down for the like polycule Mormon sister wives ass lifestyle to a fault, like when no one else even wants them to. So I'm having a really hard time believing that like indiscretion and infidelity, lies is like the only way to get what these people ultimately want. Like if you want 2 wives, apparently you just can. You just have to, you just got to talk about it, I guess. What? Sorry, I got like a hair in my eye. I got to blink it out. Oh God, hold on. I'm so sorry, everybody. Let me just cry on camera. Hold on, TJ's going to start recording me. Oh man, hold on. I'll be right back. I'll come back with an animal, although that probably won't help me as far as not having hair in my eyes. But I'll come back with cat tax to... Oh, I found it. I can see it. I can see it. It is a mochi hair, indeed. Oh, it was like sticking up. It was almost like a stint or a splint. Is that what it's called? Yeah. Like a splint in my eye of one hair. So, here, would you like to be the star of the show? I don't see our usual punctual person.
He's in the bathtub upstairs.
He's in the bathtub. Alright, so I'll bring back another cat tax. You will forgive me for a cum-bearing cat. This one's Catelia. She is 13 years old, and she is a little baby.
Miles, come here. Leave her alone. Miles.
And of course, Miles cannot go without the love-ins. We'll bring Miles in at the end. Aww. Catelia. You guys gotta see those eyes, though. Look at those little sassy eyes. Doesn't? She's trouble. Okay. Anyway, that I'm 100% positive that was like a skit, some kind of like joke, the rage bait, because she truly had me going when she said, and you better not cheat on him. That had me dead. That had me truly dead. Okay, Miles says I need to show you guys some Miles cam. So. Nice. Oh, that's Miles. That's our Miles, guys. He says, you look like you need to go out.
Miles, outside.
Go outside. Dad's got you. I already took him for a WALK today, so I'm off the hook here. All right. Hello, Boggy. Okay. We got about half an hour. What do I want to do here? Let's see. Oh, I know what we're going to cover. Yep. This one. This is the one. This is insane work, you guys. Okay. This is a unique... One thing that I cover a lot is I love to cover these relationship tests that are going around, because not only do I like to roast them and make fun of them and talk about how absolutely ludicrous they are and how pretty much any test is just a sign that maybe you're not emotionally ready or mature enough for a relationship. But another thing about these tests that I like to point out is that the vast majority of quote-unquote relationship tests are pretty much just glorified gaslighting designed as a quirky trend. That's what most of these are. Let's take the ketchup test, for example. She squeezes the ketchup on the table just to see if her boyfriend will clean up after it and how good he will clean up after it. And typically when the guy is like, why did you just do that? She's like, oh, I don't know, it was an accident. You know what I'm saying? Or like the orange peel theory, when the guy is like, oh, why can't you peel it? You don't know how to peel an orange? They'll usually like make something up, like, oh, I have a cut on my finger. And it's like, you could try and justify these little lies to being like, oh, well, it's just for the bit, it's just for the meme, it's just for the joke, the test, it's just for the trend. But it doesn't change the fact that the common theme of these tends to be gaslighting. Oh my god, the Joshua trend. I just made a video about this. The Joshua trend was girls would take a screenshot, any screenshot, usually taking a picture of like a jacket or a pair of shoes that they're interested in. And then they Photoshop a message from a person named Joshua as incoming at the top of their screen. And it says something like, hey cutie, when can we meet? Right? And then they send that screenshot to their boyfriend and go, hey, do you like these shoes? Just to see if he'll notice, to see if he'll get jealous, to see what he'll do. Then when he's like, what is this? Then they just do the further gaslighting. They go, oh, who, what? I don't see anything. Oh, Josh is just a friend. Why are you worried? And Josh doesn't even exist, is the most pathetic part, right? So now that we know how these kinds of gaslighting relationship trends work, I gotta show you this next one that is crazy. Editing this picture to gaslight my husband into thinking I'm taller than him. And that said, she said, this is my fave picture of us. I know it went by pretty quick. He says, you look pretty, babe. I like it. I don't think he noticed it first. But she tries to give him a hint. She says, I look normal height. Then he looks at it again. And he says, oh, were you wearing heels that day? She says, no, I had shoes on. Then, you didn't realize I'm taller than you? Keep in mind, this is not a boyfriend. This is not someone who, like, there's some plausible deniability. There's some, like, understandable, maybe they wouldn't pick up on that kind of thing because it's only been a couple weeks. This is her husband. This is the man she married that she's trying to gaslight right now. So devious nature here. He says, no, you're not. You definitely had shoes on. I didn't? I've always been a bit taller than you. No? I'm just gonna turn off the music. It's annoying. I'm sorry. Was the camera glitching? And this is like, again, this is literally gaslighting. This is definition gaslighting. Gaslighting is, by definition, when you go out of your way to make someone feel crazy for thinking that the very real reality that is happening in the real world is happening. They try to make you feel like an idiot for knowing what you know to be true. And it's honestly the worst feeling. Like, the effects of gaslighting are not to be minimized or undercut here. Because for anybody who has experienced gaslighting, especially chronic gaslighting, especially people who, like, almost made it their life mission to gaslight the shit out of you for a long period of time, you lose your sense of self-confidence. You don't know what to trust anymore. And you start exhausting yourself, going back and rethinking every single moment, trying to piece together as many lies as you can, So I get that this is supposed to be just a joke, but you're way too good at and comfortable at one of the most abusive methods of manipulation that exist. Like, to give you an idea, I often say that honestly, the cheating is not as bad as the gaslighting that goes into the cheating. Cheating is actually 10 times more forgivable when you're like, I cheated on you. I did this. I'm an idiot. I'm an asshole. But when you go, you're literally crazy for thinking I would do that while you've been doing it for months, that's the worst. That's the worst. Anyway, so here she is just playfully gaslighting him. He says, because there's 0 chance you're taller than me. Without shoes, too. She says, it's okay. It makes no difference, babe. I always have to lean down a little when I hug you. He says, what difference would it make anyways? Excuse me? You have to lean? Are you mad? I love that. Like, he's literally like, okay, I can tell something is going on here because I know that my wife is not taller than me. So what is going on? But don't worry, to a simple question like this, why would we ruin the bit by telling the truth? That's not going to be funny. What we're going to have to do is add more gaslighting. Yes. She says, yeah, it's cute though. He says, what's cute about being leaned on for a hug? What's so sad is that, like, the short kings are out here catching strays for no reason. Like, do you think Tom Holland minds at fucking all when Zendaya leans in? No, because they're both 10s and they're in love and it's magical, okay? Who cares if she was taller than you? The problem isn't that she's taller than you. The problem is that she's not taller than you and is lying about it.
Isn't she having a baby, Spider-Man?
Oh, my husband, with a fistful of cotton candy, wants to know if anybody has the tea. Is Zendaya pregnant?
I thought she announced that her and Tom Holland were having a baby.
I don't know. I guess I can Google it real quick.
I'll Google it.
Zendaya baby. No, Zendaya is not pregnant with a baby. There we go.
Thank you.
Lesson learned.
Maybe it was just people asking since they got, like, the whole...
No short kings on the way for now. And then he goes, are you my man and I'm the girl? Again, not how height works. Now everybody's catching strays because of this little test. There's a reason I always cross my legs when we do videos together. Oh my god, she's putting work into this. Like, this is that kind of terrifying gaslighting that's not even funny anymore. When people are like, hold on, I'm gonna lie for a prank really quick. But then the speed and detail at which they craft the believable lie has you going, I'm not comfortable with you anymore. Why are you confessing these secrets? She's starting to believe it now. Then she sends this picture from their wedding day where, like, from the angle could maybe look like she is leaning in. Wow, she's, like, again, she's putting way too much work into this lie. I don't like it. I leaned forward on our wedding too. Oh, let me see this real quick. Mexi Man and Cheese says, have you ever watched the YouTuber Think Before You Sleep? His newest video is right up your alley. Yes, I'm familiar. He's, is he the one dating Brittany Venti? I also paid attention to, because I watch both him and Noah Samson. So you know I caught that whole beef with them and Lily Mations, and I'm sorry if you have no idea what I'm talking about, but this is all to say thank you, Mexi Man, for the $5 super chat. I will be checking out that video. I will. He says, you wore heels that day. I bought them for you, woman. Oh, I fear I may have paused it again. She says, no, they were flats. There are too many lies being told right now for this to be a comfortable tee-hee-ha-ha anymore. He says, this is news to me? Dude, bro is literally falling for it. And this is like, this is actually going to cause trust issues in their relationship for real. When did this happen? How could I not notice for 4 years? Oh God, she got him. I don't care if you're small. Don't worry, babe. X. I'm starting to wonder if she literally got married just to have an in-home victim. You know what I mean? Like, she was getting really tired of, like, having to go out on the streets to find people to terrorize. So she was like, I'll get a nice couple of salad bowls and dishware on top of an in-home live-in victim. Love it. He says, sorry. Not him apologizing. Oh, he's apologizing for, sorry, small? Yeah, you can't just be, like, nonchalantly calling your man small. Like, you don't even want to call a woman small. Yeah, women would probably like it more, but, like, small is a particularly triggering word for men. This is why, like, when Dave Portnoy made his Zach Bryan diss track, it was called World's Smallest Man, because he was trying to hurt him as bad as he could. This is your wife, though. When did we start using these derogatory terms? Did I call you a giraffe? He's like, all right then, you tall ass giant bitch. I love you the same. It's fine. And now she's like doing a pleading for, like, she's the morally sound one here. Like, she's such a good person for dating him despite his shortness. God, this is like all kinds of nefariousness. How have I never realized? Dude, he's like going through it right now. It's your eyesight. It's not the best. Let's play count how many lies she has told so far. Lie 1, you're shorter than me. Lie 2, I have to lean in often. Lie 3, you didn't buy me heels for my wedding day. In fact, they were flats. Yeah, you know how women love wearing flats on their wedding day? I never wear heels, and I even wore heels on my wedding day. Lie 4, now his eyesight is bad. God, what was the other one? Like, we keep going on and on. There's been so many. And she's, like, lying to him about his own body. These are things that could actually work. Like, don't underestimate the placebo effect that you can have on someone else's body and body image. This guy is going to forever think he's shorter than he is now. Do I need to go to an optician? I'm going to measure myself, and you do the same. Dude, just pull out each other's driver's licenses. You already have measured yourself because you're not crazy. Oh my God, this poor man. ASAP. Oh my God, we gotta look at this again. Because here's the thing. I don't know if she's wearing heels or not, but this man is used to not looking his wife in the eyes. He's used to this. And so now she's successfully convinced him he hasn't been doing this for the entire time they're dating. Let me see what she did again to this. Oh my God, okay. He's at fault too. He's at fault too for that. Okay, it wasn't as bad. No, he's not. He's not at fault because this is believable. Once she shrunk it down again, it went back into like the believable, like, did the camera glitch? Is this a weird angle type thing? But, oh my God. Let's read the comments. when he started to doubt himself, and then like they use the crying emoji like directly the same as a laugh emoji. Mexi Man says, am I crazy? I've never met a woman who would let her man dictate what she wears on their wedding day. I don't think it's necessarily that he was like, these are the heels that you are to wear. I think he was like, let me buy your heels. That's the vibe that I got from it. This was too entertaining. I almost feel bad for laughing at him. That's your Jiminy Cricket. That's your conscience desperately begging to be released from the cage that you've suppressed it under. He said, when did this happen? Poor guy was freaking out. Excuse me, you have to lean. I can't. Got him questioning his own sanity. He is in crisis. Sending that second pic was too damn much. Did I call you a giraffe? This went on for so much longer than I anticipated, and I was not mad about it. Oh man, so they're just loving it. We love and stan the suffering of men on Beyonce's internet, apparently. We just... Maybe it's a bit too far for me to call it suffering. There may be some of you reacting to this who agree with the majority of comments and are kind of the mindset of like, Lauren, come on, gaslighting is fine if it's for the bit. If it's for the plot, then you can gaslight your spouse a little bit as a treat. Maybe some of you feel that way. I have to say, upon thorough review of the evidence and the popular opinion, I still have to go with none of that was necessary. Like, you got a bunch of girlies to laugh, but if you don't think that this man is honest to God second guessing your level of insidiousness, like how depraved your character has the potential to go, then you just don't have enough confidence in your man. You don't have enough confidence in the human condition. This is reminding me of, you know how when they say if you have a friend who regularly talks shit about all of their other friends, they're probably talking shit about you? It's kind of that same vein of logic. If you come up with these kind of duplicitous lies and stories that cause a person to completely question their sanity so easily as a joke, why would I not reasonably believe that you have the means to do that for other nefarious purposes? It's just 1 + 1 = 2. It's not a far reach. And unlike your husband, you can't gaslight me into thinking that I'm crazy for making that connection. My connection is sound, okay? You tried to be funny on the internet and yet accidentally revealed yourself to be a terribly toxic person, or at the very least have a very solid potential for being a terribly toxic person whenever you want to. And maybe you did that on purpose. Maybe you did this as like a reminder to your husband, like, and don't forget the kind of power I have, which you shouldn't do. It reminds me of like the extremely toxic end of men who are in shape, who say things like, yeah, I do this so my woman knows never to get out of line. Like, even if you don't act on that, you're still not supposed to be threatening your spouse to behave. You know what I'm saying? Aaron says, yep, that's why I don't go for gossipy friends. That's why a lot of people are turned off by gossip. And, you know, that might be a little bit hypocritical of me to say because I love the tea. You know what I'm saying? But specifically, why a lot of people are turned off by the quality of people who so quickly and easily and without worry talk shit about people who are supposed to be close to them. That's why I question partner shamers, right? If you're gonna blast your spouse, the only person in this world that you've made a legally binding contract of commitment to protect and love to, you're going to do all that to them. Who's safe from you, really? That's terrifying. So, this relationship test, do I see it as just a silly tee haha funny joke? I think probably that was all she meant it as. Did I, allude to maybe she did it to, like, rub in his face what she's capable of? Yeah, it's possible. Do I think that was her intention? I don't think it was her intention, but in these situations, you have to separate your intention from the impact. Your intention may not have been to prove to your husband that you're capable of some, like, intelligence agency level of gaslighting. Some, like, what was that, like, psychology experiment that they were doing in the army? Oh, God. That level, basically, of that. Like, truly, psychological warfare levels of gaslighting. It might not have been your intent to prove to your husband that you're capable of that, but it certainly ended up being the impact, didn't it? So, maybe don't use your own gaslighting skills as, like, a test. Maybe just recognize that any gaslighting is still gaslighting, be it for a joke or not. There's still harm in denying someone their right to reality. You know what I'm saying? You're taking, I feel like it's almost unconstitutional to gaslight. That's what we deserve, right? I mean, us Americans anyway. All you non-Americans, I guess this isn't relevant to you, but we as Americans, we deserve our rights to life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. I feel like it's therefore effectively unconstitutional to deny people the ability to recognize life for what it is, to recognize their own liberties for what they are, or to pursue a proper happiness because their reality is so clouded by lies. Being dubious to be funny is always going to be a bit sketchy in my mind, okay? If you can lie about this, and I'm sorry, you might not like hearing this as someone who is just trying to be silly, but if you can lie about height over and over and over again for such a lengthy conversation, you can cheat. Why wouldn't he think you can cheat? Why wouldn't he? Why wouldn't any of us think that you're 100% capable of it if you're not already doing it? If you gaslight me about anything, if you tell me I made this pasta sauce and your mom made that pasta sauce, you've broken my trust. I don't care that it's pasta sauce. You lied about something you didn't need to lie about. Why should I trust anything else you say? So these people, they just need to be a bit more careful with their jokes and their tests, because the social zeitgeist is waking up to this. Like, our typical privileges that we had before of being able to use the giggle or the oh stop, like, they're just not working the same anymore, because collectively we're all starting to recognize our worth and rising up and not dealing with the bullshit anymore. But I mean, by all means, keep trying. Keep trying, I guess. I need more content to call out, right? Oh, goodness. You're about to enter the Twilight Zone. CIA, not Army. Oh, yeah. So one of you probably have quoted what I was... Project Mockingbird. Thank you. 77th Infantry. MK Ultra. MK Ultra is actually the one I was thinking of. Yes. Oh, hello. Would you like to be seen in 4K? Let me hide my face so it focuses on you.
Yellow. You calm down.
Sun spotted. A rare Sunvocate spotting. I was just about to wrap it up, but yeah, we were discussing this case here. This lady photoshopped herself to be taller than her husband, and then gaslit him into thinking that she's been taller than him their entire marriage.
Is he not good at noticing Photoshop things? Because that is very clearly Photoshop as a person who's seen multiple Photoshop things before.
I feel like she did a good job of giving it like enough plausible deniability to where like could have been just a bad camera angle.
You can tell based on his right arm though. His right arm's really.
She can only pull this
See,
on.
my kid's not gonna get stuck with
you can only pull this on
people.
someone who doesn't understand photo editing.
Yeah,
that's the thing.
The new generation.
I can tell she's scaled up. I can totally tell she's scaled up because the lighting doesn't match to how big she is in that picture.
Because it's her right arm and the guy's right arm. Both of their right arms are completely wrong.
Her lighting is scaled up, dude. It's like if I did her shading on the same layer as her body, and I'm like, I gotta make her bigger, and I lasso her and expanded the size, the shading goes with her, and now it's not lined up correctly.
But this is the power of gaslighting, and this is why I'm saying, like, it's not harmless, even if it's just a joke, because, like, she went through so much, I can't, like, scan through the timeline on here like you can with, like, other videos, but I mean, like, she was doing the most. Like, she just kept lying about stuff. She was like, well, like, she sent an angle that was like a weird angle from their wedding day kissing where it also looked like she was taller. So now he's like, wait, am I? And she's like, yeah, you also have bad vision. And he's like, well, no, because I bought you heels for the wedding day. And she's like, no, you didn't. You bought me flats. And like the psychological damage that she was doing was bringing to a point where he's now looking at this and he's like, maybe I am wrong.
My question is though, how did he not notice by her leg? You can see like part of the dress going up like that.
Right, like I think bro would notice if his hips were lower than her hips.
Mm-hmm.
But again, this is the power of gaslighting. This is why.
Yeah, it's also like near her foot. You can tell because like there's part of it just going up.
The thing to do in this situation is I usually don't encourage like sharing your business with your friends, but I feel like my kid would never fall for this because even if there was a part of him that was like, wait a minute, he would definitely, like, this picture would already be in the Discord and he'd be like, am I getting fucked with? And all the boys would be like, you're getting fucked with.
This is true. Like, I know damn well that Tom could be just asking for the play-by-play.
Yep.
Like, no matter what's happening, he's
asking
over
everyone would be like, I think she's fucking with you, man.
Yeah, dude, no.
As the one person on the server with experience, Devon would definitely know.
Hold on, let me read the super chat. Domestic says, hello, Dadvocate. Have you looked into game theory? How honesty, feelings, and dishonesty affect the outcome of competitions? Is that... I'm curious, is that kind of the mindset of, like, in sport, the power of getting in someone's head? Because as a jujitera, I am familiar, and I've seen this in action. Like, I've seen...
Another fuck up in the picture.
Another
yeah, it's by her, in between her right arm and her body, you can see the balloon.
You can also kind of see, if you're familiar with the new iPhone technology, you can kind of see, like, the blur from where she, like, removed herself.
The rim of her right arm, near her feet, where the guy's right arm is, as well as in between her right arm and her body, like right here, this area.
And he did not let her get away with this. If only you were, her husband. Just kidding. I'm glad you're not. You could have ruined the bit for her. See, he needs a proper Discord full of boys to help save him from these. Not you. You've got the proper Discord full of boys. But yeah, game theory. Is that kind of like just the idea of the game theory of the prisoner's dilemma is a good example. Wait, what? The prisoner's dilemma? Was that the Stanford prison experiment or is this something else? All right. I gotta go soon, but I have enough to look up game theory. I have enough time for this. Game theory is the study of mathematical models of strategic integrations. What is game theory in simple terms? Here we go. Studies interactive decision-making, where the outcome for each participant or player depends on the actions of all. Okay, so I feel like we all do know what game theory is without knowing what game theory is. Like, if I'm playing Mario Party, I'm going to look at how many other what people have in their items. Do they have a warp pipe to the star? They're probably going to use it on their next turn, so I probably don't need to waste my time desperately trying to get to the star if it's going to move again. Like, so I think we all probably understand it, or like just seeing the typical way in which people are moving.
That's just playing a strategy game.
I know.
That's what game theory is.
You're the master of strat.
I was going to say that's just any strategy or turn-based RPG game. That's what game theory is. Just any. It's just how those games work.
Okay, I'm gonna read this real quick because Christopher's asking me a question in regards to the other woman case. I can answer this real quick before I go. Love your channel, but you know initial filings are not evidence, right? False. because you can submit evidence in your initial filings, which is what happened. And more evidence can then be submitted at discovery, but initial filings do include evidence. So yes, I am aware of that. We're both right, if it makes you feel better. Like, can the evidence be disproven at discovery? Perhaps. Perhaps. In an initial filing, you can kind of almost say anything you want a little bit, and then later on it could be found to be perjurious, right? But absolutely you can submit evidence in an initial filing. Absolutely you can. All right, any last things here before we dismiss for the week and you all go flooding to that video? No, those are arguments. Once again, incorrect. The arguments are what are stated before the exhibits. The exhibits being evidence. We're both right. You can make arguments and submit evidence into an initial filing. And those are all things that are considered in the courtroom. Like, and the evidence that was submitted, are you denying that it's not proper evidence? Because the only evidence submitted so far is Chelsea's own terms of service, which is still to this day clearly listed on her own website. So I don't understand what you're even upset about. The evidence is proper and evidence. But there's no exhibits. Yes, there is. Go to the filing. Look up The Other Woman and the Wife, LLC in Miami County, New York, and you will find in Kristen's countersuit attached exhibits of the terms of service. And I literally cover this in my video. Like, look, maybe you didn't catch it. It's an hour long. Okay, maybe at some point you like looked away to sip on the coffee or something, but I'm sorry, but I'm right. I'm sorry to be the one to tell you this. I'll hold your hand when I say it. I'm right. I'm not upset. I'm just bored. I love you nonetheless. I love you nonetheless. I do. Okay, it is time I get my ass to a parade of nations. So stoked that she'll get to see her brother there, because she's really nervous to be representing an entire country in this little parade thing. So when she looks up and sees her brother, she's gonna be so happy, you guys. Also, I'm definitely planning on chopping up these lives and some past lives into like 10 to 15 to maybe watching all these. You don't have to. I'm gonna keep chopping them up. Might not be super speedy, busy with the holidays, but that's the plan. The live schedule for next week, to be decided. I'll let you know by Sunday, but the kids are starting winter break in a couple of days, so I don't know how available I'll be, but I'll see where TJ might be able to pull him out of the house. And, you know, the oldest, I obviously don't even need to exclude him anymore. He's down to clown with us these days. But all right, it is time for me to eat, to go enjoy this parade of nations. Watch the expose video. If you can, please donate to Kristen's GoFundMe. She could use the help, and mostly we just want to show Chelsea that we support Kristen more than her. Sometimes you can vote with your dollar. Now is one of those times that I would recommend doing so. All right, that's it. Oh wait, no, I showed you guys Miles. What animal do you guys want to end on? I'll let you choose your pet tax. You get veto power, Dylan. Is there a particular animal you want to show off?
I'm just saying in case old man needs to be lifted up.
All right, Miles has decided it's gonna be him. He's like, I'm here for my pet tax. Oh man, Dylan's gonna bring over Parker. Oh my God. Now this is one way to end the stream. The old man. Oh, he's such a good baby. That's so funny. Oh my God. Well, with that rare method of exit, never had an outro with carrying Parker before, but it's time for everything.